Let's get away from those sorts of words.
Yes.
Let's just talk about what's the future. So you're saying there's a positive future, you're optimistic. So what's the optimistic, positive future for a Palestinian mother in Gaza at the moment or on the West Bank? What's the best thing that could happen?
Welcome back, everyone. I am shocked. British MP Emily Thornberry has really pulled up her socks. I've criticised her in the past for her views on Gaza, and recently we saw her anger towards the Israeli authorities when she discovered they secretly recorded her during one of her meetings. This time, however, Emily gets payback. Not only that, but she asked some very good questions to a barrister and international lawyer, Natasha. Let's take a look.
Of course. I'm a barrister in practice at Six Pump Court Chambers in London. For about 10 years I've been very actively involved in a voluntary association of lawyers called UK Lawyers for Israel, working for the proper application of law to Israel, Israelis, and also countering anti-Semitism.
Your future for Israel is a fairly positive one. The economy doing well, being at peace with its neighbours, dealing with the Iranian threat and the threat from Iranian proxies. That's one side. And so I suppose the other side, given that we're looking at peace for Israel and Palestine, is what would be the future of a Palestinian living in Gaza? What would be the future of a Palestinian living on the West Bank?
I think that ultimately depends on whether the international community continues down the tried and tested mechanism of encouraging extremism, unfortunately, amongst Palestinian terrorist groups. My projection, if you will, or my hopes for a similar positive reality are less optimistic. It's one of the reasons I've made it a significant mission, travelling around the world and meeting with politicians and officials, to stress the importance of ceasing funding for UNRWA, which is at the core.
But sorry, may I just so that I get this. So if I was a Palestinian mother in Gaza or on the West Bank, I would be looking to my future would be what? It all depends on whether the West are helping to develop extremism within Hamas.
Well, I think the future of any Palestinian in Gaza ultimately depends on whether or not Hamas is defeated,
right.
Which is, of course, one of Israel's central war aims.
The future of Palestinians depends on whether Hamas is defeated. What about 1985 when there was no Hamas? They weren't living in peace then, and nor are they now.
Okay, so, but you're quite confident that Israel is going to be successful, that Israel is going to defeat Iran and Iranian proxies. So then the question is, what happens then? What does peace look like for Palestinians in the West Bank and in Gaza? I'm sorry I keep asking this. I just want an answer to that.
I think I put it in terms of being cautiously optimistic. I
What does cautiously optimistic mean?
Well, cautiously optimistic, I don't say that it is easy to defeat Iranian threats, in particular where one sees the international community moving to policies of appeasement and complacency in grappling with these threats.
One sees a barrister talking absolute rubbish, talking a lot but not saying anything meaningful at all. Emily doing a fantastic job, and this is where she really turns on the gas.
Let's get away from those sorts of words.
Yes.
Let's just talk about what's the future. So you're saying there's a positive future, you're optimistic. So what's the optimistic, positive future for a Palestinian mother in Gaza at the moment or on the West Bank? What's the best thing that could happen?
The best thing that could happen is the ending of the indoctrination and the incentivization to terror, to give ordinary Palestinians a chance. And through that, I think the removal of
What does a chance look like? What does it mean?
Through the removal of the genocidal Islamist regime in Gaza and the corrupt Palestinian Authority.
I'm so sorry. What does a chance look like? Let's take away all the words. Let's take away all of those descriptions. Let's keep ourselves calm.
Let me give you a
this is my last try. What does a positive future look like for Palestinians living in Gaza or on the West Bank? What's the best thing we can hope for?
Perhaps I can give you a practical example. When I visited Ramallah, the biggest cause for optimism I have seen is a visit to a venture capital startup fund looking to create Silicon Valley.
I cut the video there because I don't think anyone is interested in her visit to Ramallah. Emily Thornberry really deserves a pat on the back on this one. Natasha, a barrister by profession, but sounds like every other Israeli official we've seen trying to defend a genocide. I hope Emily keeps up the good work. I'll be keeping a close eye on her to make sure she's behaving herself. Jokes aside, I'm very happy to see this side of Emily. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Support me by liking and subscribing. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.